welcome back. Now I've started talking as soon as I get a little signal that goes around. I've started to talking straight away because last week I was stood gormlessly staring at the camera when I came and had a look back. So hello, welcome, it's Saturday. We have so much to share with you today. Do you have your tea ready? I will wait for a few people to come in. Now I'm just going to move this up so that I can see the comments. So, hi June. Now, what you'll have to tell me if you are new here from, hi Becky, I was just about to start talking about you. If you're new here from Becca's page, or if you are, and I'm just moving that so I can, apologies because I'm now not looking at you. So, that's probably wonderful. Right, my editor is going to do a little bit of tweaking because what I want to make sure is I can see your messages and I can also see where I'm flicking to the different cameras. Hi Sandra, welcome everyone. Now, what we normally do is we have a little chat, we say hi, we let everybody arrive because not everybody is ready at 10 o'clock. I wasn't ready at 10 o'clock. I've got my tea, so if you don't like the chatting bit, morning Kathleen, morning Violet, if you don't like that bit, go off, make a cup of tea, come back in a couple of minutes and I'll have said hello to everybody. Have I missed anyone? No, I think that's everyone at the minute. So I was remembering the very first live I did, and those of you that watched, it was a disaster. It is still on the page if you want to go and have a look. I made a hair scrunchie with some bunny ears, and was that the first one? My camera fell over. It fell down. It was an absolute disaster. You're new from your page. Hi, Becky. We will talk lots about Becky in a moment. When I was doing my first live, the camera fell over. Morning, Linda. The stream wouldn't work to start with. And then my husband came and he attached the camera and he fixed it and it was okay. So many things went wrong. And I remember sitting there with my cup of tea, mimicking other people that I'd watched do lives. So Debbie Shaw you've heard me mention her name many times. So she usually sits there with her cup of tea and she waits for people to join. And nobody was joining. And I was sat there and just saying, oh yes, but people will be coming on in a minute. And nobody was joining and I made my cup of tea a couple of minutes ago and sort of had one of those moments, gosh, what if that happens again? Hopefully it won't. Now, we have many things to talk about. We have a giveaway today and I have legalese. I think that is an actual word. I have some things that I need to say to you and I'm going to read it from a piece of paper because I don't want to get anything wrong. What we are making today is part of the amazing, let me check I've got it in shot, the amazing RjAf Makes. Becky is her name. Rebecca Alexandra Jane Frost, I think that's right. So we are going to be making the front of this amazing bag. I'm going to pop it back up there because it kind of only just sort of fits and doesn't fall if there we go, if I tweak it the right way. Okay. Oh, morning, Lynn. Oh, I did see. So what happens, Lynn's just saying thank you for the invite. So I think what happens if you go to our page and you like it, then you get an invite to join it. I think that's what happens. It's something that's set up in all the algorithms somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. Hi, Shelley. I'm going to move my tea because when I'm moving all sorts of things around. So those people that are new, we have a couple of camera angles. So this is the different camera angle that we're using. So what we're using is we've got the camera that I used to have at the front is here. So look how clear this is. Just take a bit of time to focus. It's so clear. It's amazing. So and then we've got a top-down camera that I'm not going to put on yet because I don't need it. I don't need to put it down and then it's in the way. So she only gets called Rebecca when she's done something wrong. I know. And then people will call her Fred too. So I work with Becky. I work with Becky on Sewing Street. That's how I found out about her. I actually found out about her when I was watching Sewing Quarter, which is a very, very long time ago. now. So we both work with Sewing Street. We're both designers. We both make our own patterns. And she reached out to me and said, would I like to make one of her bags or one of her soft toys on my live? And I said, yes, please. She said, what's your preference? I said, I am a bag lady. I don't mind being called a bag lady. And I know that she doesn't mind being called a bag lady too. So what she did, she very generously, she sent me this pattern. Okay, now this is the adventure backpack, so I haven't had to pay for this. She sent this to me. She sent me lots of other goodies. She asked myself and my daughter to choose the fabric that I'm going to be using. Morning, Sue. And she sent me some other gifts as well, so I've got some other patterns that I cannot wait to make. And this is my favorite thing that she sent me, is the stitches, because our color is pink. A lot of the things, so the lights behind me, they don't always show up as pink, but the lights behind me are supposed to be pink. So she sent me this amazing pattern, and because she said I'd sew any bag that she wanted me to. She sent me zips, she sent me zipper pulls. So lucky. I am so blessed. Okay, and what she said is that I can do a giveaway for you guys too. So I'm going to read from this, okay, because I do not want to get this wrong, and then Becky can correct me. Can I say, gosh, I'm getting so old. So, I should have highlighted it. So the discount offer is for the viewers, okay, and you will get 10% off in RjAf Makes shop. Okay, there is a link in the bump that comes through when you're watching the video, but I will make sure I add another link as well. And it has been on. I know it has been on. Now, if you are overseas, you need to email your shopping list what you'd like to buy and mention the code, because I know we do have some people that are not in the UK. And you will still then get the 10% off. But she will add it, she will work out the shipping and everything for you, okay? Now, this is valued forever. So this is forever, okay? It's not just for the week, it's forever. But it's only one time per customer. So go there, choose your pattern that you want. Go and choose your fabric, go and choose your zips. Go and choose your Fuse It, which is your iron-on interfacing. Go and choose all your other things that you need to make your bag or to make 2 bags. And make sure you've got a big purchase, okay? And then you can get your 10% off. Make it really worthwhile, okay? And the code is, are you ready? This is really confusing. There you go, thank you. The code is, it's really complicated, Dawn Taylor. There you go. Keep it simple. That's how she rolls, is what she's written under here. She's so funny. I did say last week that she actually puts her humour in her patterns, which I need to stop doing, which is lovely, absolutely lovely. Okay, so I think that's everything that I need to say. Now, the giveaway, what I have, now this is a bit noisy. Let me put the other camera on. What I have, let's move that mouse out of the way, but hopefully you won't all disappear. So this is the giveaway, okay? I have got these patterns separate so I can show you. So you've got 2 zips. Becky can tell us how long they are, but they are very long. If they're as long as mine, I think they're over 40 inches, I think, but I'm not sure. You've got the, there you go, the absolutely beautiful pin badge. You've got the Ready for Anything bag pattern. You've got the Walk With Me bag pattern, and you've got all of these zipper pulls. Okay, I'm using one on the bag today. You've got zipper pulls, you've got bag tags, all in different colours. So thank you ever so much for that, Becky. Now, all you need to do, people are coming and saying how amazing your patterns are. They are really, really easy to follow. Lots of pictures, lots of details, and I will show you. I will open one up and show you. So you can win this. This is a giveaway. It isn't just for people that are here today, okay? All you have to do to win this, okay, I need to stop saying okay. All you have to do to win this is just to comment. But I'm going to leave it open right up until next Saturday. Okay, so we will be back next Saturday with another live. And then what I will do before that live, so it will be until the Friday night, next Friday. Hopefully somebody come through and tell me what that date is. Be the 20th. Actually it's half term, so I think it's the 18th. I might have to double check that. But so that Friday, at, we'll say 6 o'clock. If you haven't commented on this, so you haven't watched it through and you haven't commented on this live, because it stays up and you can write whatever you want to. You don't have to say anything special, just make sure that you've commented. So everyone here, so Kathleen, Shelley, Sue, everybody has already commented, so you will be in with the giveaway. And then what there is a, you know, when you do the clacker boards on different programs, you can do that via Google, and I will put everybody's names in there, and then I will pull it out. So I will stop it, I will get a winner, and I will announce the winner next Saturday. So yes, Violet, well, thank you. Good luck, everyone. So it is the 18th. Okay, so Friday the 18th, 6 p.m. British Standard Time, British Summer. Oh no, I don't know what the other one's called. I only know British Summer Time. At 6 p.m. it will close. So make sure that you have commented, and you already have. If you're here, just make sure you comment. Just say hello. You don't have to worry about saying anything, you know, smart, or just say hello, just say hi. It's fine, that's fine. So in that giveaway we have the walkaway bag. Now I will go through these on another video. Okay, we have the walkaway bag and the ready, no, that's mine, the ready for anything bag. Okay, and I will go through these possibly on Monday when we do our other live, or I will do a little post just to show you what you get. So that's all the legal stuff that I need to tell you. Let's get back to the make. So as I said, here's one I made earlier. Just make sure that you can, actually, I'll go to that camera. So this is what we are making today. Now the beautiful thing about this pocket, because this is what goes on the front of the bag, look, there's no outside seams. And then what Becky does, that looks very green on there. It's a teal colour, everybody. It's a beautiful teal colour, but it looks very, very green. So this is the little zip. Now I have put one of Becky's, she also sells, so she sells lots of zips, but these, I think these are number 3. So she smells. Sorry, Becky. She sells the smaller ones as well. She doesn't just sell these big, beautiful, amazing ones. Okay, so you just have those as well. So, but you can use a smaller one on here. You don't have to use a big one if you don't want to. So that is what we're going to make. Now I'm not doing any cutting today or any measuring. I'm just going to show you the method, because obviously I don't want to show you a peek into, she's lolling, I don't want to show you a peek into what I've lost it. You've made me laugh now, Becky. I don't want to give away any of her pattern. I don't want you to be able to make it from this. I want you to buy the pattern, and then you will follow this hopefully good tutorial. But yes, and then you apply bias binding all the way around. Now my bias binding I have already cut, and the way that I cut this and measured this and made this was because Becky has amazingly detailed instructions, okay, at the beginning. So she shows you, if you haven't made bias binding before, then she shows you how to make bias binding, and look, it matches perfectly. And what you do is you pop this on, and then I'm not going to show you how to attach it to the bag. That's another part of the video. I'm just going to show you how to put your zip in and how to make this bit. Hopefully we will have enough time. So let's move that one out of the way. Now I'm going to bring in one more thing. I'm going to bring in, how beautiful is that? The little bag tags that you can get from her. They're so lovely. They make everything look professional. So this is some, I've forgotten the name. This is, it's not William Morris. I wanted to say it was William Morris. It's not. No, it's gone. But look how professional it looks with, hang on that way, with the little tag on it. It's absolutely beautiful with the tag on it. And here is the zip. And look at that one. This is a rainbow zip. It's so beautiful. And there are rainbow tags that you can get as well. I've put the silver one on there just to match with this one here. Okay, so I'm going to pop that back up. There we go. Or you can also get the webbing. You can get everything that you need for the backpack. Okay, what size are the larger zips? They are oh, bye Lynn, we'll see you later. They are 05s, number 5s, the bigger zips are. So I think these are 3s and these are 5s. Okay, I said it's nice that Becky's here because, excuse me, losing my trousers. It's nice that Becky's here because she can give us a little bit of a an explanation. The one more thing is the Fuse It. Now I've got, where did I put my writing? Because I didn't think I was going to need it again. I moved it. So this is called Fuse It. This is, you guys all chat amongst yourselves because you know Becky's stuff more than I do. The people that have come over from Becky's page. If you can chat to everyone on my page, everyone that's asking questions, then if you're happy to answer those questions, then please do, because I can't always see the comments, and it's lovely. You know Becky, you've known her longer than I have, so you can, you know, praise her away. Okay, right, back to this one. So this is Fuse It. Now Becky's had this made by a manufacturer. You can only get this via Becky's website, although other people are going to be stocking it before the end of the year, she told me. But basically it's a medium weight interfacing. You iron it from the back. Those of you that watched me cleaning my iron the other day with the paracetamol trick, it does work, but please use tweezers because I did singe the end of my nail. I will say, if you end up in A, please be careful. I don't want you to go into A&E because of me. But this, you iron it from the back. So therefore, you put it on your fabric. I do have a little bit to do actually. I need to do my corners. So you iron it from the back. Now here is my sticky side here, and there is this is called Grey Grunge. I wrote it down, but I've moved the piece of paper, and I got that from Becky's website. So I'm going to pop this down, bring in the, just double checking, because now I've just cleaned my iron. There you go, and on medium, and you just keep it on for as long as, I would imagine that it has directions on it, but my piece came without any, but generally you sort of keep it on for a couple of seconds, move it around, and then that is attached. Okay, I'm just going to pop that quickly on my other 4. Now what I did was, when I did these are my zipper tabs, what I did is, I will show you where they've come from once I want to really concentrate on this, not because this is tricky, because I don't want to have to clean my iron again. Here we go. Yes, I was actually ironing H640. It wasn't this that made my iron dirty. It was the H640. Now, I'm quoting Becky from yesterday. She was on Sewing Street yesterday. That's, like I said, that's where I know Becky from. And she said the only thing she doesn't interface is bias binding. So I'm interfacing my zip tabs. Now, she showed me, actually, Emma Brassford from Studio 77, they both do their zipper tabs this way, which I hadn't seen this way. I've always folded my zipper tab over the end of my zip like this and had trouble sometimes attaching it, but they do it a different way. So that's how you attach your Fuse It, that's what it's called. So I'm going to bring in, I don't need my mat. Now what you get, I have a bigger one here, you get the where you can print them out, but look, you can print out the whole of your pattern pieces, okay, and then you place them on the fold, the bigger ones, and then you cut them out. So what I wanted to do was just show you that you get all of the pieces. It's not a case of you have a pattern and it's a square and you cut out 10 by 8 or whatever it is. You get all the pieces. So these are all the pieces that I've got, okay, ready to make my front pocket. Now one thing I did is, because I've made a few of these, I had to keep going back to the instructions because I was doing lots of them. So what you will do, if you're just doing one at a time, you will have cut your piece and then you'll move it. Because I was making lots, I had to keep going back and checking which one was which, so I ended up writing on it. Okay, so this was piece number 7 and I only needed 1, and this was piece number 6 and I only needed 1, and this was piece number 5 and I needed 2. So I wrote on them just to make sure that I knew where they were. And what you can do right up in the corner, once you've interfaced your pieces, is just put a number. So if this is piece number 1 and it correlates, you can see how much I checked it because I then crossed it off. So what I did is, this was piece number 1. So piece number 7 is the lining front pocket, top pocket. I'm reading it upside down, and that corresponds with this one. So that's number 7. So if you're going to make more than one, it might be an idea to do that. So I'm going to try and hopefully remember I literally made the other one last night, so I'm hoping I'm going to remember where all the pieces go. The first thing that we want to do is attach to our zip. Now, Becky uses quilter's tape. Now, I don't have any quilter's tape, so I'm not going to use it today, but she uses quilter's tape, and it's a great thing to use when you are sewing zips. Now, I will be getting the other camera angle out in a minute. For those newbies, you'll be able to see. So what I'm doing is I'm laying my main fabric piece, and my outer is the same colorway as this, is the blue. Okay, so I'm laying this one down, and then I am going to attach my zipper tabs. Now, what you would normally do is you would put zipper tape on here and attach it, but as I said, I don't have any. And what you do, but you make it reach, you make it fit the gap, because you get the measurements for this and you get the measurements for this, and then you add your zipper tabs, okay, and that makes it a little bit bigger. So let's bring in the machine. I need to check that all my wires are right, and then it's quieter today, everyone that's usually here. Look, I've got a different way of attaching it. There we go. Right, and then this is camera angle number 3. Now I've got a little hairband. I kept losing how I was attaching the top bit, and I'm bringing it down and getting it wrong. Couldn't find it, didn't know where it was. So let's just check. Is that in focus, if somebody can tell me? Making sure. There we go, that is in focus. Right, so what you want to do is take one of your zipper tabs and put it at the end of your zip. Now, these are not metal zips, so you can sew over them. And then take one of your other zipper tabs, put it at the other end. And now we're going to sew across here with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now, for those of you that this is old news, you've already done it, just remember that lots of people are brand new to sewing. Lots of people, this is a tricky thing. People get a bit worried about sewing with zips. So let's move that out of the way. So I'm going to pop my needle down. I'm going to do this really slowly. I'm going to backstitch, and then I'm going to sew slowly forwards, because that's going over that zip. Although it isn't a metal zip and it's easy to sew over it, I do like to be a little bit cautious with Al Nan. This is Al Nan, everyone. I bought her with some money gifted to me by my grandparents. So she's an Alna, but she's called Al Nan. And then what you do is you push this back. You can iron it if you want to. And then I'm lining that up. I'm not going to move my position, and then I'm just going to top stitch. Now I am using, oh, need a top stitch length. I'm going to move that up. There we go. So just to the end. Now I have got a dark blue in here, and the reason being is later on we're going to do some top stitching on the outside of the bag. So I wanted to make sure, this might be the piece, I thought I'd drop one. So I'm going to lay that one there, and there's the other one, right sides together. So you're not going to see much of this sewing. Now what I will show you on the one that I made last night is I didn't use a dark colour. I used sort of the blue actually that matches the lining. I used that so that you would be able to see my stitch line. So I will show you that when I do that bit of top stitching. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up my fabric with this edge of my foot, and then I'm just going to sew down. There we go. I can see all your comments whizzing past, but I can't read them. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to move the machine out of the way because we don't need it anymore. And there is my beautiful zip tab. Now the reason that I've chosen this big heart is because it's going to be hanging down. Let me show this one. Wow, Princess is here. I actually did a little happy dance when I saw your name. I see your name all the time on Sewing Street. It's so lovely to have you here, Princess. I can't actually read what you're saying, so I'm hoping that everything is okay. So there is my white one that I put on here, and there is that bit of top stitching. As I said, we're going to do that a little bit later, but I wanted this, when I sew it into my granddaughter's bag, because that's who this is for, I want this one to hang down. So it might be a little bit tricky to sew with. I haven't sewn with one zipper pull as big as that before, but we shall see. Let's move this out of the way. So now what we're doing is we are lining up. Now I want my zip to open that way, so I need to remember which way round to put it. But I'm going to move it up here so it's out of my way. Yeah, see, it's quite a bulky thing. This is where the zipper tape would be amazing. Okay, so I'm going to line that up with the edges, and then where is my pin cushion? Put my pin cushion in. And I'm going to use pins for this bit, because what I find is it doesn't move as much, but I do have my clips, my hairdressing clips ready to do the other bit. So what I'm doing, I'm making sure that it's still, and then I'm going to, hang on, dun dun dun, this is where you're supposed to label them properly, Dawn. That was almost an absolute disaster. This is the bottom, everyone. So this means that you can make these mistakes, okay? Don't think that when we're all in our little sewing rooms at home, okay, that everything goes perfectly, that we have these most amazing sews and we never make any mistakes. Now, I'm making sure I want it to open, I want it to hang down that way when it's closed. So I'm going to move it out of the way. There we go. Don't think that we sit here and we have our Pinterest perfect sewing day, because honestly, it doesn't happen. Well, it might happen. Maybe some other people do. Maybe some other people do have perfect sewing days, but my best friend is my seam ripper, because it's out often. Now, I did watch somebody the other day. Now, what we do here for those new people is we do chat, we do have happy conversations. It isn't always about, but you can always watch my hands to check what I'm doing. I'm not always talking about what I'm doing. What a lady said was that she said that her seam ripper was a time machine, and I thought it was an amazing way to describe your seam ripper, because with most things, if you're cooking, if you're doing something other than sewing, you can't undo it. But with the time machine of a seam unripper, or I know people call them different things, with a seam ripper, what you can do is a time machine, and you can then change and go back, and you will be able to go back in time, because your thing isn't ruined. Don't you think that there's an amazing thing to actually think, the amazing way to think of your seam unripper? It really did make me stop and think. So I'm not using my zipper foot, but you can. Some zips are really tricky to use and you can use a zipper foot. I'm not going to. Can you see my needle? I'm moving it all the way over, not quite to the edge, and then that is pushed against my zipper tape here. So what I do now, many people sew zips many different ways. This is the way I do it. Okay, there probably is a wrong way if it's not going to work, but there are many right ways. Okay, so I'm now going to back stitch. Should we go a little bit faster? Back stitch, and then we're going to come forward. Now, my zips, my sewing lines, all the things that I'm sewing may not be perfectly straight, because I'm trying to sew with a camera angle. I say it all the time, okay? But it also means that if your angle isn't absolutely perfectly straight, don't worry. It's not going to stop this make from working. Okay, it's not a dress that needs the perfect seam allowance. You do need to be very, you do need to be within your seam allowance, obviously. But if I've gone slightly off, then, please don't worry too much. I'm going to try and open my zip now. The thing about Becky's larger zips is they move so easily. I bought some from Hobbycraft. We were using them the other week, and they were £1 for 3. So I mean, you do get what you pay for with many things in life, and I think you do with zips. So I've used them on little pouches that I'm not going to be worrying too much about, but they definitely don't open as nicely as Becky's do. So I'm going to push this down out of the way, and then I'm going to top stitch. So let's move this beautiful zipper pull out of the way. And then I'm going to, what shall I do? That way, I think. So what I'm doing, I'm hoping that this is going to go all the way down that channel. Therefore, when I'm stitching here, it will be in the right place, but I need to move my needle over. There we go. Now, any feedback, everyone, for those, especially those people that are new, if you want to leave some feedback on our camera angles, on the fact that I talk too much, anything like that, then please, please do. One thing I will ask you not to do is if I make you angry, if I make you sad, to not do those faces, because as I'm flicking through my videos, when I see a sad face or an angry face, it genuinely makes me sad, and I don't want that at the beginning of my day. If you do have something that you're really not happy with, if that really upset you, obviously freedom of speech, but if I've really upset you, please come and tell one of the admins. You know, we are available. Please come and tell us. Please, if there is something wrong, then, you know, just come along and tell us what it is, what we upset you with. Right. Now, I'm going to line up. I'm probably going to have to move. I was hoping I wouldn't have to move the machine out of the way, but I think I will. So the top-down camera is great, but what happens with it is the battery and the when you are, I'm going to move to that one. I'm going to pause that one. So what happens with the top-down camera is it doesn't last as long as the others, and I would like to post this on YouTube so you can see what I'm doing from the other camera. So I'm just going to line this one up because this is going to be the top. Okay, so I'm going to line this one up using my pins. I can see all your names going past. It's so lovely that you're all chatting to each other. I know I do that when I'm, so Violet, I can see Violet's name. Violet and I go and watch Debbie after this quite often, if I'm not fiddling around and doing weird and wonderful things with the video, which has happened more and more lately, and I've had to watch Debbie Shaw's live much later. And so I'm just going to place that one on the top. This is just the way that I do zips. As I said, other people do them differently. I like to sew both pieces together because it just saves a little bit of time. There we go. And yes, so Violet and I go off and we go and watch Debbie, and I love having conversations within that chat with other people. It's really, really nice. So there's my big zipper. It's so lovely. My granddaughter's going to find it really easy to open the zip. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Okay, so I'm showing it to the camera that isn't on. So I'm just going to do, let's move this over. I'm going to do the same thing now, and then I'm going to sew all the way down here. I'm going to bring the machine back in. Turn on the other camera. My husband's going to be so impressed that I've remembered to press record. Doesn't always happen. Becky said that her husband, he's her director, and he stays in and does different things and moves the camera and stuff. But I really struggle to be naturally me in when Steve is in here, and that's no reflection on our relationship at all. I mean, he's my best friend. He's hilarious. I adore him, but I just can't do the Dawn Taylor thing when he's here, which is really strange. So I need to work on that, because it is nice to have, just go back stitch again, it is nice to have somebody in here moving things around and changing the shot if I need to. So I'm just going to go back down. I changed my needle the other day. I know that Becky's got an Alna, but she's got a big higher number. I think she's got the 780. I changed the needle, but I find it's sounding quite clunky. So I've rethreaded. It's not actually sounding as bad. I am wondering if I've got a dodgy bobbin. That maybe that's what it was. So I'm just going to move my zipper pull out of the way. There we go. I'm just lining that one up. So I don't know if anybody else has that problem when they are, with any sewing machine, it doesn't have to just be an Allen, but when you've got something that isn't wound perfectly, whether that does make a difference when you're sewing, if it makes a difference to the noise. So There you go. Now, everything is in, I need to turn that camera off. Everything is in the pattern. It explains everything so beautifully. Just grab my scissors. Put a stray thread there. Okay, just pop it back in there. So there is my zip. Okay, now this tip I thought was amazing, but I read it wrong, and I did do it. That sounds like there's something under your bobbin carriage. Okay, you'll have to explain that to me, Becky, but thank you for your, I knew that you would know. Sometimes when you open zips, I need to make sure I get this around the right way. Sometimes when you open zips, the zip will catch on your lining. So what Becky suggests is, and it makes sense really, you can see I'm folding back the zip there. Okay, so I've just folded that back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach, trying to see if you can see. So I'm attaching, this is my lining, this is the zipper tab, and this is the zip. And what I'm doing is I'm sewing down there so that that is attached to the zip, but I'm not sewing it onto this bit. Okay. Princess just said, she said she's sorry she interrupted being late and now she's going to have to leave. I just feel so blessed to have had you here, Princess, so that's quite all right with me. Okay, and I would love to see you. I would love to see you again. Now I'm just double checking that I'm doing that right. Hang on, now Becky is here. Becky, am I sewing on this one? Because though I don't get my instructions back out. Am I sewing on this lining, sewing them all together? Or am I just sewing on the zip? I think I'm just sewing on the zip. Don't know if Becky's watching. I'm going to bring the machine back in and I will get my instructions. So, there we go. Let's just have a little read if that's okay. I've brought the other shot in. Dun, 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 dun. This is the thing, you get this beautiful book. She says yes, so I'm just sewing on the zip bit, just sewing on this bit. Wait for her to say yes again. So the book is so beautiful, and it's in its let me see if I can sort of, can you see weight? Is that a good thing? It's got so many pictures. I don't know how many pages it is, but look, it's a little book. It's very heavy. Okay, it's so full of photographs. Right, so I'm going to just attach this bit to here, and I'm not sewing on that bit. Okay, so I've said okay again. I don't know how many times I've said it now. I know when my dad used to watch, I've just realised that I haven't seen my mum. There's Jean Thompson in here, everyone. I haven't seen my mum's name pop up. So she said doing it on the lining will be easier. I'm just going to, my mum normally pops in and says hi, but she said that she hasn't been getting the notifications all the time, so I don't know if anybody else is missing us and not getting to see us. I know that, so I follow, Barbara is another Sewing Street designer. She does the lunar sews, the lunar lapping sews on a Sunday and a Wednesday, and I don't always get notifications for that. Even though I've got, you know, I follow her, so I'm not sure why I don't always get a notification of when somebody's going live, which can be annoying. Right, there we go. So I'm going to smooth that down. Now you don't top stitch this bit. Okay, I'm going to move this. I'm going to close that down, and now what we're going to do is we're going to fold this back and match up. Almost match up those pieces. There we go. So I'm going to use my hair clips now. Those of you that are new, I like to use these hair clips. I got the idea from Lauren Mormino, if you know Lauren from Sew Whatever, and I just still had some because I was a hairdresser. I still had some in my stash, so I went and got them and thought, wow, what an amazing idea, rather than having to go and buy the other clips. So that's what I use. Oh, it says Sue's going as well. We will see you on Monday night, Sue, for our Monday evening sort of, we're not doing proper sew-alongs now, are we? We're doing sort of techniques and quicker things. So you can see it all matches up now. And can you see how that zipper pull is hanging down? That's what I wanted. I wanted her to be able to grab it with her tiny little fingers. But hopefully she's going to have this backpack for a long time. Now what you need to do now is you need to measure down, follow the instructions, and then you can put a mark or draw a line. So I'm just going to, actually I'm going to take those out so that I can draw a line. There we go. And I got this tip from Jess. She does Ochla Roots. I know Karen was on the group chat the other day, and she was saying, and I couldn't believe how long ago it had been. Do you remember the bushfires that were in? I just realised I got my hand in front of the camera. That were in Australia, and we were making little pouches for the joeys to so they could have all these orphan joeys and other marsupials. I did look that up. They had all these sort of stranded babies that needed to have these little pouches, and Karen said that she made loads of them. It was so lovely to see, but I couldn't believe that it was that long ago. So can you see now that there is a little line there? I mean, even in this darker fabric you can see that there's a line, so you don't always need to draw your line in. You can just use a marker like that. If you've got some sort of interfacing, that makes all the difference. Right, let's move the camera back in. Use the sewing machine back in and turn the camera on. I'm doing so well. Right, now I need to line that up and then move my needle over. So this was the bit that I said that you wouldn't be able to see. It's as far over as it goes, but you can see it on this one because I did my, can you see that? My blue, no, hang on. There you go. You can see my blue thread there, because you're not going to be able to see this, but you're going to watch me sew it. So there we go. Move my foot in and back stitch. I'm still on my stitch mark. There we go. Now, if you really do trust your top stitching, then you can use a different colour if you want to. I'm going to move that zip out of the way, make it smoother. You can use a contrasting colour. I'm not as confident. When I'm sewing in real life, I mean, I still use the same sewing machine, but when I'm sewing in real life, let's just change cameras again. When I'm sewing in real life, I do things differently to when I'm on a live, because if things go slightly wrong, there we go, can you kind of see it there? When things go wrong, they're going to go wrong on a live, not when I'm sewing normally. And they do often go wrong on a live, but that's okay, it's fine. Right, so I would possibly use a different colour top stitching, I'm not sure. But there you go, there is my zip, and you can see it's now covered up. But she is going to be able to reach that because it's got this beautiful, this is, have I said that this is one of Becky's zipper pulls? Have I said that? Look how beautiful it is. And it's also got a little opening there, so you could actually put something else on. Oh, so amazing. Right, this bit blew my mind, okay? So what I would do now, if I was making this, is I would put these two together. This is not what to do, okay? Put those two together. I would sew that down. I would turn it right sides out, and I would think, well, it doesn't matter, it's up in the corner. But as we saw on this one, she's such a perfectionist, and I mean that as a compliment. She's such a perfectionist that she's managed to write the pattern so that these are hidden. Honestly, I am in awe. So what you need to do now it makes it a bit tricky because your zip can be stiff. So we're going to fold these over. Okay, now what I did, Becky says to pin both of them separately, but I was just a bit, lazy or wanted to do it quickly. So I folded that one and then rested it up against the other one. Okay, and then pop a pin in there. So But what they are now is they are now wrong sides together. But what will happen is that will make it look how this one, I can't explain it, my words are missing, but that's how this will sew perfectly. Okay, so I need to keep remembering to move over. Good job I did my nails, isn't it? Right, so I'm going to do the same on all 4 corners so that I can then sew them all at the same time. Now I'm looking, I think we're still okay for time, aren't we? 1:45. All good. There we go, and then the other one. Now, I'm loving how these colours match. Now, I don't know if I've got the whale fabric. I don't know if anyone here from Becca's page has, not concentrating, has bought the whale fabric before. I think it's called the Adventure. No, that's what this is called. Voyager, that's what it's called. So I'm just lining those 2 up. Okay, and pinning them. And I will give them a little wiggle as I take it to the sewing machine, because everything likes to move, doesn't it? So I'm going to fold these up. So yes, I've got the whale fabric that Becky has got on her website. That's what Bethan chose for the backpack. And it's got this teal colour in, and it really does look a funny green. I don't know what you guys will see, because I'm not looking at Facebook, I'm looking at my monitor. Make sure that I'm putting these in the right way. It looks a very funny colour, but the teal and the blue and the pink are all featured in the whale fabric, and I will grab some just before we go, because I know I have got it cut out somewhere. See, you're not supposed to tidy up a sewing room, because that's when you lose everything. Here we go, and that's the last one. I'm not used to using this camera, everyone, so apologies if you can't see what I'm doing. There we go. So now all my corners, now you would probably do yours one at a time, but because I'm bringing the machine back and forth, then I wanted to do them all together. So there we go. So I'm going to take my stitch down just a little bit, and like I said, I'm just going to give them all a wiggle before I sew them, just to make sure they're all in the right place. I'm hoping that you guys have enjoyed this video. It's just, can I pop that there, or is it going to take the focus? No, I think it's okay. When I did that earlier, it moved this over 1/4 inch. It took the focal point from the needle when I did that before, but it's working now. So something I did, which I've never done before in all my years of sewing, which makes absolutely no sense that I haven't done it before, is I noted in my head what a 1/4 inch stitch length was and what number it was on my machine. So on my machine it's a 4.5. Now every time I've gone to sew a 1/4 inch and wanted it to be exact, and I wasn't using my 1/4 inch sewing foot, I take out my seam gauge, is what I use, my metal seam gauge, and I line up and find out what a 1/4 inch is, and then sew whatever I'm sewing, and then it sort of disappears from my head. Absolute madness. Why didn't I just write it down and keep a record of it? But now that I've done it and I've told myself I'm going to remember it, I have. What a silly thing to do all those years. I think it's because I rely too much on my 1/4 inch foot. I think that's why. So I'm just doing all 4 corners. Those of you that are new here, there is usually something that goes a little bit awry. Nothing has gone awry yet, so I'm hoping that that is down to Becky's amazing instructions, and I've made this a couple of times and she's just made it so simple for us to follow, and I'm hoping that I'm not going to have an absolute disaster in a couple of seconds time. Right, lots of people are saying they're looking forward to making this bag. Now this isn't lying smooth, and I think it's because the zip is a little stiff, but you need to use these zips because A, they are amazing, and you want the bigger zip on here. So having sewn the other 2, realizing I haven't used one of these zips, I haven't used a number 5 yet, so that's why I was struggling a little bit, because on the other bags I used is it the 03, the smaller ones? Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Let's move to the other camera. Now I can see a few people are saying they're really looking forward to making this bag. Right, are you ready for this? Please be right. Dun, 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 dun. There we go. Oh, wonderful. So on the inside, can you see? You've got, hang on, I'm trying to get it to focus for you. There we go. Now I haven't ironed this one, so I'm going to use this one. So you can see that it's all the seams are on the inside. Okay, and I'm not going to have time to iron this one. I'm just going to sort of push it so that it's in the right way. And then what you want to do, I'm just going to flick to the other camera. I do need a producer, don't I? A director. So what you do now is you take your, now I put, this is the bottom, okay? Let's move this way. So lining that up and then taking my clips, you just pop this all the way around on the inside. Okay, just unfurling it. Now, let's just go back to the other camera because I know that's quite a, it's a bit of a flicky image and it's not great for your eyes. Let's just let the camera catch up. It's because that's in shot. I'm learning about all these camera angles. I never knew that there would be so much to my sewing. I think it's focusing on the front, isn't it? Here we go. Oh, now somebody else told me that. I think it was John Scott. He said that there was a 1/4 inch stitch on my foot, and you're saying it's on my machine. You're saying it's a number 8. Do you have the? So I've got the Elna Excellence 580 plus. So somebody else did tell me that, and it's completely gone out of my head. So thank you, Kathleen. I will have a look. So can you see? I'm just lining it all up and matching it. Now I'm doing it back to front. You will be doing it the right way round. And I'm sure if you have added binding before, you will get this next step. And if you haven't added binding before, do not worry, because as I said, Becky has full instructions on how to make your binding and how to apply it to your bag. I keep forgetting to move over to that camera. There we go. If I move right over, there we go. Doing this backwards is a little strange, but it's working. Can you see how perfectly it matches? It's because I had a metre of the teal. I promise you it's teal. I had a metre of the teal fabric. There we go. And I made my binding from the way that that Becky told me to. So can you see those two match up there? So what I need to do is fold one of them back and start sewing, and then the other one will meet it. Okay, so it's a bit too fiddly too. I'm going to start up here because I'm not going to get to go all the way around. I just want to give you an impression of what we need to do. So I'm going to bring the machine back in. Just dropped my pin cushion on the floor, so I need to remember not to step that way. So let's take out that one. Now I'm not going to go all the way around because I don't have the right colour in here, and this is a gift, as I said. Now I'm going to move that that way to the end, and then what you do is you just sew along this. You can see the line in there. When I made this binding, you can see the lining that I've the sort of the fold, the crease that I've made. You just go all the way around, flattening it out. Now this is going to be noisy because I've used my clips, and I noted when I made it that I kept clanging, banging around, so I do apologise. So, somebody having problems with the cameras? I can't concentrate on the words as well. I do apologise, everyone, if you are having problems. Now I'm just going to go up to this corner, and then I'm going to stop because, as I said, I've got to unpick all of this because I want to do it in a colour just in case it does show through. So I'm going to get that off. There we go. And we'll go back to the other camera. What's happening? Are you watching on iPad? As that's not an issue. Does anyone else have an issue with I can't see what the original question was. So what we have, I try and explain this properly. What we have here is we are hardwired to the internet. So our signal, sorry, that's so noisy. Our signal comes straight out of the wall. So we don't get any lag or any loss here. So if there is any, then it might be your, oh, there's Mum. It might be your end, Kay. If you get a lag and it's using the top down, it might be because I'm filming with my iPhone and it's not a great, turn that way so you can see, it's not a great camera for us to be using. So there you go, in here. So can you see, that's where I've sewn my binding, and then what you do is you fold this back over and clip it back down. There you go. And that bit there, I'm going to clip that bit. There we go. So everyone, this is my mum. Jean is my mum. For all of the new people, let's get some more clips. And as I said, this is all in the pattern, okay? So do not worry if you've not done binding before. She explains it so well. So I'm folding all of that back. There we go. Okay. Now, what I have realised, let me get the original bag. What I have realised, let me bring this down to this camera. So if you don't like the stuffing for toys, look away now. My husband doesn't like it, so I'm going to move it out really quickly and try and get it out of the way because he's got to watch this later when he's editing. So what I did on this bag, there's some more of it hiding there. What I did on this bag is there's my lining, okay, on the inside of my pocket. And there's my grey zip that's matching. And there's my bias tape, okay, and it matches, it's not the same colour, but it matches the grey. And what I've realised I've done on this one is I've matched it to the inside colour, but I haven't matched it to the outside colour. As you can see, when you're folding it back, don't worry too much because you won't see this bit, okay? This bit folds under, okay, and disappears. So let me bring this one back in again. You cannot see my binding at all. So make sure that when you are matching it, you match it to your inside colour and not your outside colour. I don't know if that is in the instructions. I can't remember. But don't match it to, you can if you want to, but make sure you're matching it to your inside pocket, okay? I was just thinking then that I'd done something wrong, but I haven't. Not that you're going to see it. It is a step that you can miss if you want to, but how professional does it look if when you open up that bag and inside is a lining that is matched perfectly. Now, there you go. Again, apologies for those people that have had issues with watching us. I'm hoping that it hasn't been everyone. So there is the original bag. And here is the bit that we've just sewn. That is our pocket. Okay, and then what you do, there are instructions of how you use that bias binding, you flip it on the inside and then you sew all the way around. But how beautiful is that? It's such an amazing finish. I really couldn't believe, thank you Becky, I really couldn't believe that I had made this. I've made lots of bags before and I've made some with H640, so they have been a stiffer bag, but this is the most complicated bag that I've made and it's just so amazing. And it's such an easy, I shouldn't say easy because that's not fair, because if you make it and you don't find it easy, then that makes it as if it's a reflection on you, and it's not. When I say easy, is the instructions, simple is what I should say. The instructions are so simple and so well written. Every photograph that you need. Now, I've done a demo on this. I know that Becky is going to be doing some YouTube demos. That's what she does on all her bags. She does do YouTube demos. So you can go along and you can have a look and she will talk you through it. She's so good at explaining, and she has a little chuckle in every video that she does, which is absolutely wonderful. And she really does make my day. She really does when she's live. She's so funny. I can't wait to meet her. I haven't met her yet. We don't all get to see each other at Sewing Street. I'm hoping they're going to have a big summer party where we can all meet each other, because there's so many people that I'm friends with, and I've not actually met them, but I talk to them almost every day on, because I've not met Debbie Harris yet, and I talk to her nearly every day. So it's very strange to have not met these people in these troubled times that we've got. Thank you for all your messages, everyone. Now, I really, really look forward to seeing you all, those of you that can make it. Now, we have a live on Monday evenings. Now, ours starts at 7 p.m. I know that Becky starts at 6:30, but ours starts at 7 p.m. But when you've finished over at Becky's, come on over back to us, and we'll be doing some techniques and different things. I haven't decided what our technique's going to be yet. Let me just move that in so I can say goodbye to you properly. I haven't decided what my techniques will be on Monday, but I will put a post up to show you. So, oh, Renee, you did it again. Renee she's a very good friend, and she's just nipped in. Another lady I've known for 2 years now online and never met, because we met via sewing right at the beginning of lockdown. So, hi, Renee, but we are all going now. Thank you ever so much to Becky for her wonderful, wonderful giveaway. As I said, I will do a post and show you everything that you get in that giveaway. All you have to do is, if you've commented on here, okay, you will be entered. And just anybody that watches this live back, all you have to do is put a comment. Just say hi. You don't even have to say hi. You can put a star. You can put anything you want. Don't put anything rude. You can put a GIF if you want to. If you really want to, you can put a picture, put anything. But all of those, I will make sure everybody's name goes into this. I don't know what it's called. Ben was showing me. Don't the children know everything? My younger son was showing me how to do this thing where I can do a draw online. I will do the draw 6 p.m. on Friday the 18th, and then I will announce the winner on Saturday morning back here at 10 o'clock. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and there's Bethan. That's my daughter, everyone. Well, we've got your backpack started, okay? And look at this amazing zipper pull that we've chosen. So she's going to be able to put her little fingers in there. So thank you so much, everyone. This video will stay up, so you can go back to the beginning and watch. Now, as I said, we chat a lot at the beginning. I get my tea, and we have a lovely conversation. So make a cup of tea. Go back and watch it, have a chat with everyone, and hopefully you've got something from our demo. Take care, everyone. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.